Okay, this is an overview video showing basically a rundown of all the major screens within AccuWare's ProActive medical inventory software tool. Here we've got, starting at the top, the view inventory screen where you can look at details on inventory as well. So you can go back and forth between looking at totals that you have in the whole facility or for all sites. You can elect that or not elect that. Basically just to kind of get an overview of your inventory at a quick glance. The managing of items is different than what you have in inventory. It's for actually adding items to your item master, or the list of things that you might potentially want to track in stock, and a pretty major screen kind of sitting behind that is the ability to add items. And you can see it's pretty comprehensive. We have other individual videos showing the details on that. So this keeps track, again, of all the different types of items you have in the system. Receiving of inventory, that's bringing things into the black box or into stock. We keep it, the concepts here pretty simple, but behind the scenes is some pretty complicated and powerful things that can be configured on all of these to show on the screens the way you like and have the kind of nomenclature you like. It is set up to be able to sort of encourage or use scanning. You don't have to use a scanner, but if an item gets scanned in here with an enter key appended, it will quickly expedite receiving, and we have lots of tricks for kind of not having to retype the data. That is a big part of what we focus on, is the header information can be entered once, and you can repeatedly receive in the bottom half without having to re-enter the top half. But you can also clear the top half when you want to, or clear the bottom half. So again, we've thought long and hard about just trying to make the software easy to use for users that have to do lots of repeated transactions. Remove inventory screens, same way. You can configure the header fields. This also functions as the move inventory screen. Again, you can scan in here, and things happen when you we have individual videos on the remove screen. But again, scanning is definitely kind of built in and can be used. It's built to be able to use a scanner to scan your items, or you can manually type things in the same way. Requesting of inventory, you can create a new request for inventory. Big part of what we see out there is people want to be able to set up requests and add requests. So we allow that in the software so that it doesn't affect the inventory, but you can let an admin know that you need inventory in a particular area. We have reports, and in this section you can see we have saved reports. We do have the ability to create your own custom reports by opening up individual reports and setting filters in those reports, and then saving the stored filter values. And when you do that, it creates custom reports in here, so you kind of get your own pre-filtered data the way you want. That last bit here, it was a browser issue that can occasionally happen, whether depending on the browser you use. So okay, and then sites is at the highest level of the software. We can manage multiple sites, so those can be different geographic or city locations. If you have a clinic with 10 locations or a hospital with 5 locations, those can all be separate sites. We are scalable to the site level. We have some drop-downs that can be added here that are configurable, so you can actually change the way these look based on the settings screen. I'll go back to that, but basically the drop-downs are configurable and then appear in the main menu. And some of these drop-downs appear in certain screens. So we have, again, the settings individual video that covers that. But basically you can use this to sort of configure the way certain screens will look, and then they'll also appear here in the main menu. You can set up users, add new users. You can assign them to a specific role. Different roles have different capability. That user can be assigned to be able to access only certain sites in the software, and then depending on their role they can do certain functions, and what appears here at the left is affected and decreases depending on the power that a user has, starting at admin on down to a regular user. roles. Let's see. And we have other things like vendors that can be added for things like when you're receiving inventory. You can select the vendor that it's coming in from. When you're creating items, you can select the manufacturer that makes the item. Which reminds me that under manage items, when you're adding items, you can import items quickly from the FDA's website. We have an individual video on that, and that automatically adds the manufacturer that was cited in the NDC list from the FDA as onto the list of manufacturers here. So I just wanted to feedback and cover that with you quickly. Items, when you create an item, you can assign it to a particular category. You can also work with subcategories within a category, and all of that can be deleted or renamed. So very comprehensive and powerful ability to categorize items. Locations are set up to be within a site. So if I'm logged into a particular site, I can add locations. These might be, within a hospital or a clinic. These might be the storage areas, right, where the inventory might get stored within a site. Site maybe being the building. We do have mobile features. The most powerful of which is the remove screen, which we think is probably the most useful mobile function to have for when people are actually using and consuming inventory. We have an individual video on that. We have some admin functions like ability to upload the NDC product database for importing items from the FDA provided data there. And then lastly, the settings screen, which again we've covered in a separate video, but it allows you to configure lots of things in the software so that they use your nomenclature. Hope you enjoyed this quick overview of AccuWare's ProActive medical inventory management software. Thank